So if you're here, you're going to be joining me on my 14-day yoga mobility challenge. So for the next 14 days from February 1st to the 14th, we're going to do 4 stretches or asana poses to help with not only our flexibility, but our mobility. And so we're going to do this every day to be consistent and see our results between day 1 and day 14. So welcome to day 1. And so we're going to begin. So let's start on the mat. So we are going to spend 30 seconds in each pose. The first pose we're going to do is butterfly / bound angle. Honestly, I'm still trying to figure out the difference between the two, so please let me know if you know. But we are going to begin with the soles of our feet. I promise you my socks are not that dirty, y'all. Sorry. We're going to start with our soles of our feet touching and bringing them close to our groin as much as possible, making sure we're erecting our spine, having a straight back, no curves, right? Both booty meats are on the ground, and you can have your hands on your knees. You can have your hands on your toes or ankle. I like to do it on my toes. And like I said, bringing my heels closer to my groin as much as possible. Right? And you can see here that my left knee is higher from the ground than my right, which is cool. No beef, kinda, because our body is not symmetrical. But hopefully by the end of this challenge, this left leg is a little lower. So we're gonna hold this and we can do some butterflies. And we're gonna hold it for 30 seconds. Even though this is a mobility challenge, yoga is the best of both worlds because there's mobility, there's flexibility, and there's also breath work in there that is always helpful in whatever practice exercise that you do. So just sending breath to these areas can help alleviate some of the tension and allow your body to relax. So now that 30 seconds is up, we're going to now go in our second variation of this pose. This is still pose 1, but now I'm going to scoot back a little bit so I have some space because that feels comfortable in my body. And I'm now going to forward fold with the flat back, no hunching. So forward fold with the flat back to once again deepen this stretch, really opening up these hip flexors and allowing gravity to press my knees down on either side. I'm going to walk my hands out forward and hold this for 30 seconds. Ooh. And really using energy and force to keep my soles of my feet together and also pressing my knees down. Ooh. Great. So we are now going to move into stretch 2, which is wide-legged forward fold or just straddle. So having your legs out as wide as possible, that's comfortable in your body, making sure booty is properly firm, knees are up. I personally like to have my toes pointed. That's just a cheerleader in me. So, shout out to my cheerleaders. I'm gonna have my knees up, toes pointed. That's optional. Just a cheerleader in me just likes that. And I'm not gonna hinge at the hips the same as I did before and walking my hands out. Bringing my chest down as much as possible, forehead, stomach, all that there. And don't forget to breathe. As you breathe in these stretches, in these poses, it tells your body that it's safe and you're allowed to relax. Okay, so when we're done with that, we're gonna shake out our legs and just safely bring them together. And now that we're actually in our third pose, which is going to be seated forward fold, and you're gonna begin in staff pose, make sure your booty meats are there, having your back erected, elongated, and your core engaged, and once again, hinging at the hips. Right, so hinging at the hips, keeping our back straight, and either placing our hands here, 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 whatever feels good in your body. For me, I can reach my toes, but for some people, right, if that's, the toes is too far, you can grab your ankles, you can grab your calves. So I'm gonna reach my toes, bring my knee to nose, no, my nose to knee as much as possible. And I'm just gonna hold this again for 30 seconds. Now that we have shaken that out, we're gonna move into our third pose, which is called leg cradle or rock the baby. We're already halfway there. And so we're gonna be with our right foot. I'm gonna lift it up and hold my shin or cradle my shin in between both of my hands and bringing that shin closer to me while still keeping my back straight. And I'm going to rock the baby. The leg is the baby. Left to right. And while I'm doing that, I want to remember to keep my back straight and not hunch or lean back, because that's going to distribute the weight and use different body parts to do the work. And then I'm going to bring the leg closer to me, so to my chest. We're going to rock this for 30 seconds. Great. So we are now going to do the same thing on the other side. I'm going to tell you now that our bodies are different and are asymmetrical. So one side might be more flexible or mobile than the other, and that's okay. And that's why we're here. So don't judge me. So I'm going to bring my left foot to me, keeping my back straight, cradling my shins with both hands, and now rocking my leg baby. Woo, shake that out. Now we're going to move into our fourth and final stretch and pose, which is a variation of pigeon pose. So I feel like pigeon pose can be very intense when you have your legs straightened. And so I'm going to do a variation and I call it half pigeon. If it's a different name for that, please let me know. Comment below. I would love feedback always. But it's also called 90-90 stretch, that the gym girlies and mobility girlies and guys are more comfortable calling. So I'm going to begin with my right foot and I'm going to set it up as I would a pigeon by having my shin parallel to the mat. I like to flex my foot, having my knee aligned with the ankle, and then I'm going to bring this left foot behind me, once again making that 90 degrees and aligning my knee to my ankle as well. You want to make sure both booty cheeks are to the mat as much as possible. I like to just make sure that I'm distributing evenly. Having my hips squared to the front, this squared as well. And here I'm going to use my right hand to press down my right knee as I forward fold here again, right? And going as deep as it feels good in your body, right? Maybe you just here, and that's okay. Maybe you all the way down, kudos to you, but that's okay too. We're all different people. And as Tabitha Brown would say, that's your business. So I'm going to press here and I'm going to forward fold, hinging at the hips, keeping my back straight, bringing my nose down as close to the ground as possible. And I'm gonna hold this for 30 seconds. And remembering to breathe, breathing into that leg, breathing into that hip. Awesome. Right, now I'm going to do windshield wipers to move to the other side. Once again, setting up like a full pigeon, and I'm going to have my shin parallel to the front of the mat, knees aligned with ankle, and then my back leg is also 90 degrees, squaring my hips. And you can see, right, that it's a little higher in between, and that's cool. That's what we want, because we want to see the progress on day 14. So I'm going to place my left hand on my left knee, hinging at the hips, and I'm just going to hold this forward fold. Ooh. And now I'm just going to windshield both of that out. Both legs, I should say. Shake it off. Okay, well, that is it. We did all 4 of our stretches. And yeah, I feel okay. I don't feel too bad. Okay, well, that is it. That is the end of day 1, right? So we did our 4 poses. Please let me know how you feel below on day 1. And then we can compare that to how we feel on day 14. If you are joining, following along, thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I will see you tomorrow on day 2. Don't forget to like and subscribe.